Hello, honorable members of the clan. So let's go back to the Gauteng High Court where Mr. Ramosepele has wrapped up his cross-examination of Brigadier Gininda, who is standing on his ground regarding the cookerization of this entire matter. We are still on that. This is not the true reflection of what happened on the 26th of October 2014. As long as the people that were with Senzo on that particular night are not part of the accused, this is a cook-up as far as I'm concerned. And the 5 people that stand accused of deleting Senzo are not the right people. And there I am standing firm on that ground, unmoved or shaken. So anyways, Mr. Ramosepele, I just want to talk about probably towards the end of his cross-examination, because in the beginning he was powerful. I mean, we were super impressed with Mr. Ramosepele, the type of questions he was asking, right on point and made total sense. It is now towards the end of his cross-examination that I feel he lost his stamina. I think even maybe lost some few confidence when it comes to cross-examining Mr. Gininda. I mean, I would say towards the end he began to struggle with Mr. Gininda. I'm not quite sure if he was being overpowered brain to brain, because Mr. Gininda, he's well versed in this script. I'm one even beginning to think maybe he's the producer, the script writer, the director, and maybe even an actor on the stand right now on this very cook-up that, in my opinion, it is. And so whatever questions that Mr. Ramosepele was throwing at Mr. Gininda seemed to have an answer for all of them. But then again, as a producer of a film, and then when you are interviewed about the film, you should know the details. Irrespective of what angle the interviewer may come with, you must still be able to answer to the context and the concept, even the content of this particular movie. And Gininda, he seems to be overpowering Mr. Ramosepele in that aspect. Because several times I have heard Mr. Ramosepele, every time when he will ask a pertinent you will ask a pertinent question. My saliva stick today. I don't know why. Okay. Please recommend what do I use to thin my saliva, because no, it's not happening today. And then I'm getting also losing my chain of thoughts. He would abandon that pertinent question that he asked Mr. Gininda. Simply, Mr. Gininda confuses him with prolonged answers. And then when Mr. Ramosepele tries to protest and say, no, but this is not why I asked you. And then Mr. Gininda will say, no, but then, this is how I understand the question. And in order for me to answer the question the way I understand it, I need to start here. And then he will go on, and then I think he loses more of his confidence, like we did in the beginning of this trial, when the judge interjects. And the judge now seems to be speaking in favor of the witness, and then Mr. Ramosepele loses that confidence and then says, no, I will abandon that, or I will use this in argument. I don't know. I don't know. That's just how I felt. I felt like he was really, really struggling. Today, I feel like most of the days that he was beginning to struggle, today was the worst from what I was observing from Mr. Ramosepele. However, he did submit some really, really interesting and powerful questions, which of course should do a number on the court records, especially when it comes to the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't think Mr. Gininda answered in fact, I don't remember Gininda answering any of Mr. Ramosepele's questions regarding this matter. The only thing that he's been doing is being on a defense. If he's not on a defense, he's taking over the court. If he's not taking over the court, he's patronizing Mr. Ramosepele. I don't think he's going to succeed with Mr. Mnisi, because I think there's going to be a verbal fight between the two of them, where I think even the judge will begin to come in between them, and I don't know whose side he's going to take, but we already know what type of judge we have in that courtroom. So I feel Mr. Mnisi is going to wrestle with this bull, and of course, this bull is going to do everything it can to try and subdue Mr. Mnisi. And I think he's also going to try it with Mr. Msholo. I think Mr. Msholo, when she stands up, she is going to let Mr. Gininda know that, listen, you answer what I ask. You are not going to elaborate. If only I ask you to elaborate, then you elaborate. So I think that's where we are headed to as we move to Mr. Mnisi, Ngumalo, and Mr. Msholo, because these three already learned what sort of a witness Mr. Gininda is with Ramosepele. And with Mr. Ngomezulu sitting at home, do they know each other? I think they, in the beginning, like try within a trial, Mr. Ngomezulu and Mr. Gininda, they had some kind of, I don't know, Ukwazana or some sort, I don't know, on the field or whatever the case is. But Mr. Ngomezulu clearly, as he's sitting at home and following these procedures, he definitely is taking note of Mr. Gininda's tactics, because I believe these are tactics or a strategy to basically confuse the record, not only confuse the record, but also to distract the defense in the questions that they are asking. Is that fair? I don't know. I have no idea. And another thing that I noticed when Mr. Ramosepele was doing the denials on behalf of accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, he did not mention Exhibit JJ and Exhibit H, that those confessions were obtained in a very unconstitutional and brutal way. So then in my head, I'm thinking, okay, maybe the reason why he's not mentioning that is because these so-called confessions were admitted by the court in the trial within a trial. So that means the brutality of how these confessions were obtained must not be mentioned in the main trial. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. If anybody in the know, please let us know why he did not say, yeah, since you are sticking to those exhibits, they were obtained. He will say that they were obtained in a brutal way. I'm not sure if Mr. Ntanzi, if he takes the stand, will he be allowed to add that stuff came to me already prepared, and they were forcing me by torturing me and doing all these things for me to put my signature onto that paper. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to say things like that, but I feel that is a crucial point to mention on record, how those so-called confessions were obtained. The other thing about Ntanzi being a Inkabi, I mean, there are statements that say he's an Inkabi. What kind of Inkabi that talks? What kind of Inkabi that talks? Especially the one that goes to works in a mine, and everybody where he comes from knows that he works in Johannesburg in the mines. But there are statements that say he's an Inkabi in the taxi industry. What kind of Inkabi that talks, I want to know. Which goes to show that this is a big cook-up. And then on top of that, the 45,000 that he was paid, that was paid to him in batches. A young man like him, he would not sit with raw money in his house. He will take it and put it in the bank account. And the bank records does not show any large sums of money deposited into the account. Listen, and I'm going to make an example again, unfortunately, with the AKA situation right now. The so-called Inkabis in that case, allegedly, there was a wire transfer, 800,000 Rand. Because I would think that most of them, they would like to take the money and put it somewhere, either for savings or whatever, for whatever reason. And Ntanzi does not put his at least 20,000 in the bank account. That does not make sense to me at all. It just doesn't make sense. And another thing, Ntanzi does not know the other accused until the 27th of, October 2020, when they were going to court for the first time. But no, they know each other. And he's adamant about, okay, fine, I guess when you are a cook-up or a cooker in this situation, you need to stick to your story. I guess that's what you need to do. Stick to your story. But the video that I'm making here right now, before they come back, they are on a very short break because Mr. Ramosepele asked Mr. Gininda to check something in a statement. And once Mr. Gininda has checked that, they come back after 15 minutes, and then we're going to hear. And then Judge Rata said that way Mr. Ramosepele will be completely done with him. But I thought, isn't there re-examination if Mr. Ramosepele hears something that is asked by the other his colleagues, and then Mr. Gininda did not answer it, or maybe it brought a follow-up question? I don't know. I don't know how these things work, honestly speaking. And so that's where we add. But the point of this video is that I feel Mr. Ramosepele did struggle towards the end of his cross-examination. But what I'm happy about is that the most important information that he added onto the record, he was quite powerful in the beginning with, and I'm happy with that 100%. So I would, if I had to, no, never, let's not score people. Let's not score people at all. But I feel he did struggle towards the end. And today, of all the other struggles he may have had, was worse because Rata did interject. And when the way he interjected, it almost made him feel like he was asking a dumb question when he was actually asking a pertinent question. And Mr. Gininda, being the elaborator that he is, I think maybe Mr. Ramosepele's trains of thoughts once again got distracted, and so he would want to pull the question out or maybe take it to arguments or something like that. I don't know. What are your thoughts about Mr. Ramosepele's performance this time around? For me, yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And that, guys, please do not leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see each other now they are back. See you later. Bye.